great and powerful king. His name was Rob, and all who saw him trembled in fear at the sight of his bearded pout. King Rob was often busy running the kingdom on his own because his magistrates were lazy and generally irresponsible. So, when he wanted to relax, he would have the jesters of his court enact plays for his entertainment. Unfortunately, his jesters weren't the most creative and often repeated the same plays on a nearly weekly basis. One day, Rob decided not to allow any of the usual plays in his court, demanding that the jesters do something new. The jesters, however, being quite uncreative, decided to do the same plays but simply change the names of the characters, thinking that it would be okay. After the first play was over, Rob was upset, but he gave the jesters the benefit of the doubt. They were, after all, outstandingly uncreative. But as the second play ended, then the third, then the fourth, and they were all old plays, Rob got very, very peeved. Finally, in the middle of the fifth play, a play about a magician and his dim-witted, hard-of-hearing assistant, Rob couldn't contain himself anymore. He jumped from his seat, yelling at the jesters, "Does anyone ever listen to me?" One of the jesters mumbled something about his job being harder than it looks. This put Rob over the edge. His anger was too much to control. Before the eyes of the entire court, he was transformed into the hideous, terrifying, deafeningly loud Robadile. With a cry of Oongalawala, he crashed through the wall of his castle and out into the countryside. On his way, he stepped on a little boy playing catch with his friend by the road. The little boy's mother screamed, and an ambulance came to carry him away. But the Robadile continued on his rampage. He came across a man and his dog, Spot, mowing a meadow. With a frightening thud, the Robadile punted a grizzly bear at the man, who happened to be Austrian. The roar caused an avalanche, which interrupted another Austrian who had been yodeling to the man in the meadow. This destruction continued for several hours as the Robadile made his way through the park of Jellystone towards the town of Monaco. A little lady who lived in that town was walking down the street and saw the terrible Robadile. She screamed and fainted, and her hat swung over her head. The lady's scream caught the ear of Bandy, the long-lost heiress to the throne of the Bee Kingdom. Bandy quickly and awkwardly flew to the scene, buzzing with eagerness, but not buzzing all that well. Seeing the Robadile, Bandy puffed up her thorax and stuck out her stinger, then charged. The Robadile was so surprised that he didn't know what to do. And Bandy stung him and jabbed him and poked him until finally she delivered her coup de grace by spitting nectar in his face. The Robadile was vanquished, and the people of the kingdom celebrated. Then they realized that they had no idea how to run a kingdom. So they all moved to a new kingdom. The land of Pony Stealer became a barren desert. But one man named Pete remained behind. And on the site where the Robadile had been defeated, he dug a deep well and installed a pump. And some say that to this day, somewhere in the Cactus Desert west of Buckskin, a weary traveler can still find the pump full of cool, refreshing water, as long as they have faith and belief. And roll in the dirt.